a Max chat. I'm going to interrogate my wife, Suzi Duarte. She has a website, SoCal Corgis, a Facebook page, SoCal Corgis, and she is a hobby breeder. So we have a few corgis and we breed them a couple litters a year usually. And my son Gavin Doherty is here with us. He's our sound and tech guy, making sure that we're on and that people can hear us. So we're gonna put a link to this on the Facebook page and on the website, but it's gonna be on YouTube for now, and hopefully iTunes eventually. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Hey, Suzi.
Hey, Max.
So, what's new in the corgi with your corgis? You got a recent litter with an outside dog.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that happen? How did it get started, and what's going on with that?
Well, I stopped docking the tails of the puppies last year. The puppies born at my house, just because it was too difficult for me to do. And we did a chat on this before, and I cried through it because it was really difficult for me. And it's difficult for the puppies, and that's why it's difficult for me. I hear people say, oh, they're not neurologically developed enough to feel pain. But if you've been there with the puppies when their tails were docked, they absolutely feel pain, and they continue to be uncomfortable for usually about 24 to 36 hours. And I didn't want to do it anymore. So my puppies born here are going to have tails and dew claws now. So I had posted about that. I had said, oh, the puppies have tails, blah, 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 and they're all cute and waggly. And a now friend of mine who lives nearby, she, I didn't know her at the time, and she messaged me and it's funny because she's super humble, but she told me that she had this male dog that she wanted to breed. And this happens pretty often, that somebody wants to either breed their female to Axel, or they have a dog they love and they want to breed and have puppies, but it's tricky because I DNA test the dogs before I breed them. We do the health testing. And so somebody will call and say, hey, I'd like to breed my dog to Axel. And I say, oh, but she's in heat right now.
Okay.
Go, wait a second, what testing have you done? And they've done no testing. And
you even do testing for STDs.
Yeah, I test for that before we breed, because they can pick it up in the environment. And we go out and about. We hike. We go to events, shows, and herding events and barn hunting, and they can pick things up. They're low to the ground. So I test for everything. I don't want to spread anything around, and I don't want to produce puppies that are going to be unhealthy at any point in their lives if there's anything we can prevent. So
like DM.
Yeah, degenerative myelopathy, and there are several. We test for. There are 6 at this point that we are able to test for, and I test for everything that I can. I also like to test for the color and trait genetics, such as what colors the breedings can produce. Uh-huh. And although that's not really important to me, but it's fun. And also long coats, the fluffy coats, and the naturally bobbed tails, and to see what we can produce.
Not to get too far off topic, this is still kind of on topic. Could you just explain that? A lot of people think that if they're getting a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, that they're born without tails, but some are. It's just very rare, right?
It's pretty rare from what I personally have seen. And now it is in some bloodlines, and some breeders have those bloodlines and keep them. And but none of my dogs carry, out of probably the dogs that I've tested that were mine and others. None have carried the bobtail gene. 0 out of probably 10 dogs that I've tested.
And if they do, sometimes that bobtail gene isn't exactly perfect bobtail.
It never
could be
is
4 inches long.
It never is. But I mean, in that litter, you could get really great little, what we see as a very almost non-existent tail.
Yeah.
A very
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a very non-existent, and that's what they really want in the show ring, because it shows off their conformation better for whatever reason. I guess they get distracted by a tail or a nubby. I'm not sure.
Not in Europe.
Not in Europe.
It's
illegal. It's a very big deal. It's illegal to crop or
Just
dock or
United States.
Yeah. And So I test for all of that. But so anyways, Leslie contacted me and I was like, yeah, let's look into this. So she came by and she tests for everything that I test for. I was super impressed. And she's not a breeder. She had bred another litter. And, but this time she just had already done all the testing. And
done her homework.
Yep. Hips and eyes and all of the tests that we can DNA test for. Yeah. So I was very impressed. And the dog was super cute. He's a black-headed Tri, and he actually was born naturally docked and it was a great, great normal, well, how do I say this? A normal dock length that we see. There's no tail.
Yeah.
And he's really cute. So I was very excited. And she was telling me about, and I don't know that much about agility. That's kind of the one thing I hadn't gotten into yet. So she was saying how
You've always liked it though. Right?
Oh, I always wanted to, but I didn't know where to go. Now I know where, right here in town. So that's cool. But so Leslie was telling me, he does agility and we kind of fly, across the country. And I was like, oh, wow. And I kind of had to find out myself and from others that they're a really big deal. Everybody knows. If you say Gunner, people know Gunner. He's got championships and awards and everything. And they're quite an amazing duo in the agility world.
Don't rock the table.
Oh, sorry. And so anyways, we did the breeding with Summer. Summer is clear of DM, and Gunner does carry it. So that was important. And also, Leslie wanted to find a breeder with a female that was clear of DM, and also that would leave the tails on. Yeah. Tails and dew claws, because many competitive agility people want the tails on. They see what the tails do for the performance. There's balance. There's balance is a huge thing, and just coordination. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it helps them with balance, huh? Mm-hmm. So the ones with the tails actually do better.
Yes, and then there's an issue with the dew claws also. Although some people think that they're just something that's hanging there, and to some extent, if you have a dog with a dew claw and you feel it, it's actually attached pretty well. But the dogs will use it. And something that I found especially interesting, because when I was growing up, we didn't dock dogs. People didn't. It was whatever dog followed me home from the riverbed horseback riding that were my dogs. And they always had dew claws on. I never thought anything about it. But with these puppies, I've really noticed, I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to really keep up on those dew claw toenails, because they're not going to get worn down. No, they get worn down just as much as the other nails. Now, if they're indoors or on smooth flooring, on carpet, they won't wear down. You really have to keep on top of the nails. When I put the puppies outside on the cement, and it's our patio, but it's just rough enough that once they start going outside every day, I haven't trimmed their toenails in 10 weeks or so. And they just wear down, including that little dew claw. I haven't had to trim them at all.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're functioning, they're hitting the ground, and they're helping them to maneuver and.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's pretty cool.
That's very
so cool. How are these puppies doing? They are doing pretty good at agility so far?
Well,
what I see on Facebook.
Out of 7 puppies, 3 went to
agility.
4 went to very competitive agility homes, and they're new people. And one of the puppies is in North Carolina with a veterinarian. One of the puppies is in Georgia with a very impressively competitive agility person, and one is in Apple Valley, not too far away, and the other one, so that's 3. And where's number 4? Texas? No, let me see. We still have 2, and we have Fran. Oh, and then one is in Eureka, California, so way up north, and he's she is an AKC agility judge. And she has some other cool little dogs. I don't want to say it wrong because I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it's Lancashire Heelers. And those are super cool dogs. I had never really seen them before.
Right on.
Yeah. So, and then one puppy did go to an awesome pet home, but they are actually interested in doing agility. So that'll be kind of fun for them to have a cool little dog. Yeah.
Right. And those people that came from far away, just to make clear to people, you don't ship puppies, and you won't allow a puppy to go with somebody that's going to put them in a cargo hold.
Right.
So they have to figure out a way to fly the puppy home on their lap, or how's that work?
You know
Do
what?
you know all those rules, or
No.
should we look that up?
We need to look that up, but I know that they, the puppies at the time were only like maybe 8 pounds tops at that time when they left, and they go in a soft carrier that needs to, from what I understand, I haven't even flown that much myself. I guess they need to kind of either fit under your feet or under the seat in front of you.
Under the seat in front of you.
And then, but Leslie said that she flies with her dogs, and that Gunner, who weighs about 25 pounds, he rides with her in a soft kind of crate, but has to be kind of under and in front. Yeah.
As long as, from what I've seen, because I fly quite a bit, people bring lots of different dogs, but as long as the dog can fit somewhat under the chair in front of them, and where you still can put your feet on the ground, it's okay. People bring pretty large size labs for CNI dogs, and as long as the dog can sit them, and they fit somehow, But so those people actually came over. They flew over, picked up their dog,
and flew back
with
them,
the dog in
on
at
the
their
plane.
feet or on their lap. Yeah.
Yep.
And you have somebody actually driving from far away to pick one up soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you won't ship them. There was lately a little bit of controversy with the dog that was put in a
overhead bin.
bin, huh?
I haven't heard enough. I mean, I've read and seen a couple of stories, but I just can't imagine that there wasn't some other steward on the plane that said, no, that's not what we do. That there was only one stewardess.
Sometimes there's only a couple of stewardesses, and one might be busy at the other end of the plane. That's all I can imagine.
Yeah, but it seemed like there was a big controversy, and they were crying and saying no, and really fighting it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know enough either, but I just can't imagine. And
Well,
I
it
can't.
happened.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing it myself. But at the same time, in a situation like that, and you need to get somewhere that you're going, and you're trusting this person to tell you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I can't imagine doing it, but I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird. It's great. That was a really weird situation. I feel bad for those people. But what else?
Well, I was going to say that Hooligan, who is in Eureka, he has his Star Puppy Award for, I believe it's an obedience type of thing. But he's already got an AKC award. These puppies are really going to, and part of it too is that they've got owner partners that are really going to go somewhere with the puppies. They're very active. They're good with their animals. They love them. They're part of the family. And so I'm excited to see where these puppies go in the agility or whatever way. I always am, even if it's just somebody, loving them. I always love to see what's going on with the puppies and dogs.
Yeah, you like to keep in touch with all the... You've pretty much kept in touch with 99.9% of all the dogs.
Yep, there are only two. There are only two that I'm not certain of what's going on.
Right on.
I don't think it's anything bad. I just don't have much communication. So
Right. So the next one is going to probably be Scarlet.
Here. Yeah.
And, one thing we didn't mention, but we've mentioned before, is that we have a couple of dogs that stay at our friend Heidi's, and she will whelp out that litter, but they're SoCal Corgi dogs, and she has been still docking the tails, and there's people that want dock tails, so that's why for those people that want dock tails, and she's not against it, and you're not.
I'm not against it. I'm not fighting against it.
You just don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, but Heidi's going to be docking tails, and we just bred Axel to Dixie.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll see how many come out of that.
This will be
will have dock tails.
This will be their third and final litter, And Dixie had a small first litter. We lost a few puppies. You don't always know why. Often we don't know why. But we lost 3 puppies, I think, in the first first 12 hours. They just were not super strong. And then and we didn't have an incubator at that time, which is something that really got us to getting an incubator and has helped with a couple of puppies. Excuse me, but I'll tell you, Axel has not produced one ugly puppy. I mean, are there any ugly puppies? But now they're older and they're just beautiful dogs. And of course the mom is in there too. We're not forgetting them, but all of Axel's puppies have just really been phenomenal as far as I can say. And just personality and loving and friendly and good dogs. Yeah.
Like a true mom. So what I was just going to ask you something about Axel's puppies. Oh my gosh. And Dixie. Oh, why did you say a third and final litter?
Because I've actually only done 1 or 2 litters for the girls before.
You can't say bitches?
No, because of my upbringing. And it's really ridiculous and it's not very professional in the dog world. But yeah. I need to get over that. But so yeah, my girls, they've only had 1 or 2 litters so far. But Taffy and Dixie both have had 2 litters. And even though we lost a few puppies in Dixie's first litter, the moms came through wonderfully and were great moms, took great care of the puppies, seemed to really care about those puppies and take great care of them, and beautiful puppies.
Taffy too.
Yeah. And because of the genetics and everything with Axel, I would really like to do another litter. We don't. But why not 4 or 5, 6 litters? What happens? People do it. People do it, and I don't know enough about it, but if it seems like a lot of breeding, it seems like a lot of litters, and again, I'm not going to.
Yeah, we'll find out more.
If we were going to
end up doing 5, who knows? But 3 right now is what you're thinking.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day that he had bred his dog 10 times, and I was like, wait, you don't mean that, do you? And
how
he
old
did.
Is he?
Huh?
Yeah, how old
well,
is
I'm
that
thinking 10 years.
Must be a male dog.
But I feel like it's a lot, and as they get older, I mean, Taffy and Dixie will each be 4 years old, so they're still young.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
As they get older, they have generally they tend to have smaller litters. And I mean, Daisy had a litter at 8 years old. She did have 4 puppies. She didn't lose any puppies. It was a small litter, but she had 4 beautiful puppies. Those guys are awesome. That was her second litter.
How old is Daisy now?
Daisy now is 10 years old.
10?
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a 4-year-old dog?
Yeah, nobody would know. Nobody would know that she's 10. I don't know what they'd say, but she doesn't look 10 and she doesn't act 10. She doesn't move 10.
No, not
She's
at
still
all.
the top dog here.
Yeah, and that's mostly because of what you feed her and how you treat her. But definitely nutrition's a big deal, correct?
A big deal. Big deal.
And keeping the weight down.
Yes.
So, of course, it's going to depend on their size, right? Their structure. Some dogs are going to be bigger, and so their weight ratio is going to be a little different. But the females usually go about how many pounds?
Breed standard is 20 to 25 pounds.
20 to 25. Right.
And let's see, Shiloh, our sweet Shiloh, she was only about 19 or 20 pounds. And she was amazing. She always looked great. And she was little. And it seemed like she was tiny, but she was breed standard, just the low end. We're seeing a lot of big corgis. Corgis seem to be getting bigger.
And bigger. Axel's huge.
Axel's really big. Axel's 35 pounds. He could probably drop pound or 2, but he's not kind. He's very stocky.
Conformation's huge. Yeah.
He's got great conformation. He's a good length, and he's very, very muscular.
And okay, now so the females 20 to 25 pounds, and the males
is supposed to be 25 to 30 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a big boy, but
so he's bigger than most.
Yeah, he's not producing larger than normal. In fact, his puppy so far, his oldest litter is going to be 2. And
they're all smaller than him.
they're
Nobody's as big
all
as
in the and the people that have them are taking impeccable care. Their weight is great. They're active, and they're just doing great by their dogs, which I love.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
You guys are at 20 minutes.
Thanks, Kevin. So we took them to do, what was that?
Oh, lure coursing.
Lure coursing. So explain the lure coursing.
Well, lure coursing, they
They lure them.
they have a pulley system with a rope, and they have little what would you call the
Little flags that look like basically trash bags.
yeah, but they have the way they set the course up. They have the like runners, I guess you'd call them, that the rope goes through.
Okay.
And there's a machine that pulls the rope, and I don't know if they are actually grocery bags or they look like them.
Yeah.
But it's like there are three at the one we went to. There were like three grocery bag type things, and it's normally a sport that they use with sight hounds.
Okay.
And so it was interesting because there were a lot of different types of dogs.
All kinds of dogs. Yeah.
And so you hold the dog and they say go, and you let the dog go. It is timed. They have a certain amount of time that they have to finish it within. I don't know that you win over the class by a time. I don't know that much about it, except that you can get points for your dog completing the course within time and doing a good job. And then I need to learn more about it because I want to do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was cool. The shorter course that we did that day was 300 yards, and it seems like a lot, and it actually looked further. But
That's far.
But it was funny because Scarlett went first, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great, but let's just have a goodie on hand afterward because I'm sure she'll be tired. I hope she can finish it. She's got a lot of energy, but let's see. Well, at the end of the thing, we chased her about that far again around that place.
Just to catch her to get her leash back on.
Just to catch her, yeah.
And they ask you, hey, is it tough to catch your dog? And we're like, no,
That'll
it's
be all
pretty
right.
easy.
No big
Or
deal.
else they would have brought in some reinforcements to help us. But nope, we chased her a good 300 yards.
Yeah.
And then we chased Axel too.
Yeah, and it was funny with Axel is he wasn't as excited about
Chasing it.
Yeah, about the lure, but Scarlett was. She was really into it. But he took off and he kind of ran, and it's almost in like a square, roundish square pattern. And so he takes off. It took him a minute to see, oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. And they're like, okay, you can run with him, go with him and show him what to do, or, encourage him. And I had just been telling people, this is going to be good because the dog's going to get a lot of exercise and we don't have to do much.
No, we chased him all the way into the forest. Yeah.
All the way into the forest.
And
He wasn't even running that fast, just fast enough.
Just fast enough to stay ahead of us.
Yeah.
Well, Iggy.
Iggy was there
hard
with
to
Carrie
catch.
and Gilda. He was a little tricky to catch too.
He jumped into my arms, but I had to run out there. And then there was another one.
And I was super
Floki.
surprised. Yeah, I was surprised about Iggy because Iggy is like so awesome and so like he does tricks and he does all this stuff. They're with him all the time.
He minds his manners.
But I think he just saw that wide open space and he's like, boom. And then Loki Floki was there.
Yeah.
And he did great. He did 2 runs, and we missed the first one because we just got there for the afternoon session.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, but I think she said he wasn't. She said that he wasn't super into the first run, but he was awesome on the second run. Yeah, he was great. And then right after, he just went up to her, and everything was cool.
Right on. And so we did that, and this what Saturday you're doing? What is it? Barn hunting?
No, this
You
Saturday.
hunt for barns?
This Saturday is a herding instinct test it's being put on by the Pembroke Welsh Corgi Club of Southern California.
Woo.
And entries close on this Thursday, so there's still but you've got to mail it in. So I don't know if there's still time to get it in, unless maybe it got in the mail tonight.
Snail mail.
And then, but so what this one is going to be, and it's here at Diamond Dogs Canine Event Center, and it's right here in Chino, and it's a great little place. We've done a herding thing there before a year or so ago, but they what were we saying? Okay. So this is the instinct test, and it's not anything for any kind of points or anything, but it's to see if your dog is interested in herding, because sometimes they're not.
Right.
So Dash didn't like it. He loves to herd the ponies at home, but he's a homebody. But we went and he just stood in the corner. But I'm taking only Scarlet this time because it's just going to be me. And and I think she's going to really love it because I just hope I can catch her afterward.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it, though, is they put them in, when I did it at the same location before, is they put them in like a round pen that the dogs can't really get out of.
Oh, okay.
And they are having geese.
Good odds.
And, or ducks and sheep that you can choose to
herd.
Yeah.
Now, she does really well with our horses. Mm-hmm. If the horses are out, they leave them alone. But if I go in the backyard and I just say, get the horses, they bring them all in.
Yeah, they love it.
It's really cool. Yeah, and she'll get in the horse corral and play with them and chase them, and yeah. So hopefully she'll do really well.
Yeah.
All right, and anything else coming up, or do you want to talk about?
Well, this Saturday, the 24th of March, is the herding instinct test at Diamond Dogs Canine Event Center. And then the following, 2 weekends later, which is April 7th, will be the Corgi Beach Day. I think it's the 7th, right? Yes, the 7th, Saturday.
April?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's Corgi Beach Day in Huntington Beach, the dog park in Huntington Beach. And then on the 24th and 25th of April is another Pembroke Welsh Corgi Club of Southern California event. And it is a herding test. And they have instinct tests and trials and everything. So they've got a lot going on with that. And you can go to pwccsc.org. I think it's .org, but it's the Pembroke Welsh Corgi Club of Southern California, and they'll have links to get all the information and sign up information. So a few fun corgi things coming up.
Right on. And still looking into getting some more shirts made up and some paraphernalia with our dogs on them to maybe sell or give away or whatever we're going to do on the website and Facebook page, and put out more of these max chats. We had to relocate our equipment, and I know it's been a long time, but life got a hold of us and we got real busy. So we'll be putting more on, I hope. And so that's about it. I guess we can sign off now. I hope you guys liked it, and let us know if there's anything you want Suzi to talk about in the future, or if you have questions that she can answer on this Max Chat, and we'll make sure to include them. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Bye, Suzi.
Ciao.
Bye, Gavin.